Hey friends, thanks for joining me for Yoga for Core Strength. I chose my top 5 yoga poses for building a strong core, and I'm going to show you how to do them. Let's get started. Pose number 1 is plank pose. Plank pose is an awesome posture because it's an overall core stabilizer. 2 of the core's function is to stabilize your spine and pelvis. The other function is to move your arms and legs around with force. So plank pose has to use all of the core muscles in order to stabilize your pelvis and spine in this posture. So let's dive right in on some alignment here. You want your hands shoulders distance apart. Wrist crease parallel to the front of your mat, all fingers spread, all knuckles grounding down. Your upper arm bone, this is your humerus bone, you want it to be externally rotated so that it sits in the shoulder socket safely. Your forearm is in a neutral position. So from here, walk your feet back, curl your toes under so that your heels stack over your toes. Your feet can be hips distance apart, and as you start to work on this posture, you can begin to bring them together. So shoulders stacked right over your wrists, fingers spread. Low belly pulls in, so really pull your belly up and into your spine. Get your legs nice and straight by engaging through your quadricep muscles. So we'll just keep holding here, building our strength and stability. So a tendency is to drop the hips. And remember, one of the core's function is to stabilize your hips, your pelvis. So make sure those hips stay nice and kind of lifted and use those low core muscles to help stabilize your pelvis. Let's hold here for a few more breaths. Now, if you need to modify or come down at all, you just simply drop your knees. This is our modified plank posture. Let's hold 3, belly pulls in, 2, 1. Come on down. Another common tendency with this posture is to hyperextend the arms. So your elbow joint and your elbow crease would point forward, and you'll see the elbow joint past the wrist. And so what you want to do in that case is actually turn your elbow crease to face each other and take a little soft bend. Let's hold our plank pose one more time just to get all of that alignment and put it together. Shoulders over wrists. You're gazing a little bit forward but down. There's a slight push of the floor away. Belly pulls in, legs firm. 3, 2, 1. Release down. Our second core posture targets the obliques and is also another core stabilizer because you'll see you have to really use your core muscles in order to not drop your hips. Now, the modified version of this is with one of the bottom knee down. Your upper arm, just like in our plank pose, still rolls away from your ears. So it's called external rotation so that the arm bone sits safely in the shoulder socket. So here you would have your modified side plank. Now let's actually come into our side plank from plank so we can get a nice, strong, and stable transition here. Roll to the outer edge of your right foot. Your right foot will be in line with your right hand. Stack your left inner edge of your foot. So you're in kind of a mashup of plank and side plank. I call this the swivel. So now we can shift our weight more to our right hand to make sure that upper arm bone's still rolling away from your ear as you peel and stack your left shoulder arm up. We'll hold here so you can see or feel rather that your obliques and your outer hip, the glute medius, are really engaged here, lifting up. Otherwise the hips would sink down, right? So we have to use those core muscles to help stabilize our pelvis here in space. And now to come out, we'll go through that swivel. So left hand down, turn the feet, and we'll switch sides. Outer edge of your left foot. Left upper arm bone rolls away from your ear. And shoulder blades pretty neutral on the back here. You can gaze up towards your right thumb. It's a great idea to hold these core stabilizing postures, maybe build up to 30 seconds to a minute. Breathing here. And we'll come out the same way we came in, through our swivel and plank. Drop your knees down. My third favorite yoga pose for core work is Locust Pose. So we'll lie down prone on our belly. Bring your arms alongside your body. Palms will face up. So now we're going to work our back core muscles. I want you to draw your shoulder blades in towards the spine as you lift your arms, your shoulders, your head, and then lift your legs. So you're trying to get your heels and your shoulders in about the same line. Pull the belly button up into your spine. That'll help stabilize your lumbar spine here. And then rather than cranking the head up, just keep your neck nice and long so your gaze is forward but down. Breathing. And we'll release down. Now we can make this more challenging by bringing our arms forward into a V shape here. When the arms are above our head in this way, we're really working against gravity. So here we go. Inhale, we'll lift on up, locust. Try to keep your arms and ears in the same line. Belly pulls up and in. Think of those back core muscles engaging to lift your legs and arms. And we'll release. Take crocodile pose. Just land your forehead down. Bend your knees. Rock your knees side to side. Let's do one more round of each. So inhale, lift on up. Feel those back core muscles nice and strong. Remember, the core second function is to move your arms and legs with force. So we're lifting through the strength of our core. We're not lifting our arms and legs, if that makes sense. Okay, release down. We'll try our version with the arms above the head one more time as well. Draw your inner thighs in a little bit. Inhale, lift up through the strength of your back body. So those arms and legs are there for the ride. You can still engage and energize them. And release, rest opposite forearm on top. Bend your knees, windshield wiper your knees. Here's my fourth yoga pose for core, which will be a hollow body shape. So go ahead and lay on your back. And now for hollow body, you want your front ribs to go down. There's a sensation of going down and the bottom ribs kind of coming in towards each other. That will automatically lift your pubic bone up and lessen the curve in your lumbar spine. So you want to work towards getting your low back as flat as possible. Now, the more curvature you have, the more hips that you have, that might be a little bit difficult. And I want to show a couple modifications here. As you come into your hollow body, you could do one leg at a time like this. That'll help flatten your low back. You could have your legs lifted a little bit higher or bend your legs. So for a hollow body, we'll start with our legs straight or take any of the modifications you need. I want you to lift your head, your shoulders up, chin to chest, belly pulls in, those front ribs are down. Reach your fingers towards your toes, and now try to keep your low back flat as you lift your legs up, and we'll hold here. So hugging everything into the midline of your body, belly pulls in and down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release down. We're going to do that again. All right, here we go. Lift your head, shoulders, chin in, lift up. So you'll notice a lot of these postures today we're holding because I want you to build the strength, stability, and understand the alignment, and then we can start adding in variations. 3, 2, 1. Release down. Like our locust pose, we'll try that with our arms over our head just to intensify here. So lift your arms up. Try to keep your arms in line with your ears, your head. Lift your legs up and hold. Belly's pressing in and down towards your spine. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wow. All right, we'll end with my 5th favorite yoga pose for core work, and that's going to be bridge pose. So focusing on our glute maximus, such an important muscle to learn to develop to help stabilize, especially our lumbar spine. Place your heels underneath your knees. Now, before lifting your hips up, let's get our upper back aligned here. So press the backs of your arms into your mat, lift your chest up, and draw your shoulder blades in. From here, push your feet down, use your glute muscles to lift your pelvis up. And now we can go a little deeper. I like to actually grab the side edges of my mat and help pull down. So that'll help depress the shoulders a little bit, and I can draw the arms in. So depress, not make them sad, but draw them down the back. So keep engaging your glutes, really using those to lift the pelvis. And we'll hold here. So knees pointing forward, press through your feet, engage your glutes. And we'll release down. We'll do that one more time, adding on an arm bind if you like, or you can remain with the hands flat on your mat. Push down, engage your glutes. You can roll one shoulder a little deeper and then the other, seeing if you can clasp your hands. And if you can't, no worries, you'll just leave your hands open here or grab the side edges of the mat. Most importantly, though, we're focusing on the glutes. So squeeze your glutes, engage them. Firm your belly button in towards your spine. That'll protect your lumbar spine. And we'll hold for 3, 2, 1. Release down. All right, you can windshield wiper your knees side to side. We'll take just a gentle twist here. Release the low back. We'll take our knees to the opposite direction. And then as you're ready, rock and roll or roll to your right side and come into a seat. I hope you enjoyed this short video on my favorite yoga poses for building a strong core. If you didn't know it, I suffered from chronic back pain for years. I've studied everything that I can about the spine and the core, and I've put together a whole method that I call Activate Your Core. I sell online series where I really work to help educate you on how to get a strong core from the inside out to build a sustainable body in practice or any kind of physical routine that you do. So feel free to check it out in the description box. I have a free ebook if you want to go to that website, and namaste.